Hey, you found us. This is the Voiceover Gurus Podcast. Welcome.
Welcome back to another episode of the Voiceover Gurus Podcast. So I've been delving into some interesting arenas. I'm Linda Bruno. Going a little bit outside of voiceover with some guests that I've had on the show, and it's just fascinating to learn about other aspects of the industry that we call the entertainment industry. But please welcome Spencer Greene. Hello.
How's it going?
Good, good. So you wear a multitude of hats. You are an actor, you're a voice actor, and you're a stuntman, and that is so cool to me.
It hurts, but yes, it's an interesting industry. It's a very interesting industry. But yes, yeah, wear all the hats. Also motion capture, I do that as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a never-ending industry. But yeah, voice acting was actually my first industry I got into in the entertainment industry. I really had a love for it when I was very young. I was doing impressions. I was doing different accents. Actually, how I grew up speaking Spanish. And one of my first accents I learned growing up was how to do like a perfect my Spanish accent in my family. And it just grew. I loved it, and played a lot of video games, watched a lot of cartoons and television, and knew all the amazing voice actors. And I just wanted to grow up to be like them. And
where are you from?
I'm originally from the Bay Area, so that's San Jose, California, specifically East Side San Jose, California. Actually, it's funny, there is several people in Los Angeles here that actually have roots there, and they're been in big movies, Marvel and everything. So I've actually mentioned that to people, and they go, "Oh my God, what? You're from East Side San Jose? That's where I'm from." And I'm like, "You're in this Marvel movie, this big thing right here. Wow, this is crazy." So yeah, it's very good.
That's great. So obviously we talk mostly about voiceover stuff here, but anytime I get a chance to talk about something I have no idea about, I'd like to dive into it. I was just looking at your stunt reel. Holy crapola, man. This is incredible. So obviously you're very athletic, and you've been like that your whole life. This has been like your thing.
Yes. Yeah. I've been that way my whole life. I did jujitsu starting when I was like 5 years old. I was doing swimming. I was doing a lot of sports growing up, and I fell into stunts accidentally because I was originally in the Bay Area. I was doing a first assistant directing work for commercials, and I was like doing some commercial voiceover as well. I had actually voice representation up there. And what happened was I was working on a Claritin commercial. So this is like my origin story in stunts. I always say I got the slogan for it, but yeah, this is like the shortened story, origin story. But I worked as a second assistant director on a Claritin commercial, and the first assistant director who knew me, she was mentoring me. She knew I had an athlete background. She knew I could swim. And what was required for this commercial was a bunch of stunt actors were going to come in, and they were going to do like flips and jumps off this rope into a lake. And we were there on the scout day, and then we got close to the production day. We didn't have any stunts on one of the days. She goes, let's test it. And she comes up to me. She's like, "Spencer, you could do this. Like, just get on the rope, do some flips. I know you could do this. I've seen you do crazier stuff." She's seen me do like a flip on set, like on concrete. And she was like, "This is crazy. This boy's crazy. Get him to do something." So she didn't think anything of it. I did it. And the stunt coordinator happened to be there, and he saw me do one. And then after I got out and dried off, I was talking with her, and he comes up to me and goes like, "Hi, my name's Tony Vella." And we started talking. And then he goes, "You're not supposed to do that unless the stunt coordinator's around." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. Sorry." And then I happened to meet him again through an acting coach I had. And then we just like kept tying up, and I said, "Hey, so what's this stunt thing? What's like how do you practice for it? What is it exactly?" Because I was already practicing like parkour recreationally, which is like freestyle running and jumping over obstacles.
Oh, wow.
It's a very, very crazy art. Yeah. And I just had a background in it already. And he says, "Well, if you're interested, yeah, come to my place, and you'll train with some of the people of the team." And after that, I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the fight choreography aspect. I fell in love with all the aspect. I think it was like something that really tied into my life through all the training I had through martial arts, through musical theater, through, doing dance growing up. I just felt so connected to it. And yeah, that just tied in with everything else when I came to LA. Because originally when I came here, I was originally coming here to do voiceover, and I was coming here to be a voice actor and do all the I wanted to do all the video games. I had friends I already knew that were doing video games, and I was making the right connections. And Stunts was
Yeah.
kind of a like, oh, like maybe I'll try it, and then it just like blew up on one side.
Wow.
So it's like I've been hitting all corners from voiceover to stunts to motion
Mm-hmm.
capture. It's been really good because I really feel like it's like a world where I can, like right now with myself, I could do all three of these things. And I feel like that's a good thing to have as a performer
Sure.
because, yeah, you have directors and people that are going to ask you, like, oh, like, can you do this? Like, can you play this character? Can you do this creature?
Yeah.
And they really want someone on set that's not going to be like, I wouldn't say ask a lot of questions, but just be ready to go and just like understand
Willing.
the process, how to create
Mm-hmm.
things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
there's that dangerous aspect of being a stunt person. I'm watching you rolling
yeah,
out of cars here, and you're on fire in a shot. I mean, how do you?
yeah,
Obviously, there's safety training, and it's well choreographed, but that must
yeah.
okay. So let's just take an average fight scene. How long does it take to practice and work that out with a partner, like the other actor?
Average, it depends. Depends on who you work with. Like I train right now with the stunt team at a gym called Tempest, and what happens is when we train that team, there's about I'd say 15 of us who are regulars, and the 15 of us easily can be like in maybe 1 to 2 hours do it. But it depends. You could be working with an actor and you're fighting, like if I was doing fight choreography with an actor, that could take the span of a week or several days because
Okay.
they want to get comfortable. They want to get comfortable with you. It's really about connection of the minds. It's really about like, hey, I'm not going to hit you. You're not going to hit me. We're going to be looking at each other. We're going to have eye contact. Like something I say about fight choreography with people is they should do ballroom dancing. They should do partner dancing
Ah,
because that is a good way to segue into fight choreography. I wouldn't say like immediately go like, I'm going to go do bachata and partner dancing and ballroom
right.
dancing, but I recommend a partner activity because with fight choreography, there's a lot of trust. There is like, I have been hit in the face before. I've been hit in
Mm.
the face by professional stunt people and actors.
Out.
And there's just a lot of like being able to build the trust in between each other. Like, hey, I'm going to do this move to you and you got to throw your body or throw a certain part of your body this way, and
Yeah.
that's what's going to make this look real. And that is the real business. So I'd say like probably it depends. It really depends. Like you
Yeah.
really are. You could have a good team, good group of people. One to
Mm-hmm.
2 hours, you're going to have like 5 different fight scenes right there. Or if it was me and another guy who are very experienced, yeah, I'd say 1 to 2 hours. But actor, couple days.
Right. Well,
So
that
it's
makes
all it's
sense.
all different. Yeah.
So, and it's kind of cool because with your desire for voiceover and the fact that you do such physicality, all of that combines very well for video games, for the
Oh, it's
performance factor of that, because you're
yeah.
literally diving into it behind the microphone, though.
It's phenomenal. It's I'm very fortunate. Yeah, I've had the chance to. I fell into motion capture. I met this girl, this woman, talented voice actress, and her name's Marta. And I met her at a Stunt Women's Association networking event. And she goes, "Oh, you ever heard of motion capture? They do a lot of it in Los Angeles." And I'm like, kind of, yeah. What is it?" And then I fell into it that way. This was back in 2019, and then yeah, I met Richard Dorton at the mocap vaults and then all this stuff. And then like I kind of just like fell into this world and I've loved it ever since because some of the roles I've gotten, some of the things I've gotten have been really crazy. Like, like being able to be a double for Justin Bieber dancing, being able to
Oh,
be a
wow.
creature in a video game,
Yeah. So
doing emotes for
explain the whole motion capture thing for those of us that don't fully understand it.
Okay, so yeah, exactly. It's a great. So motion capture is basically capturing a performer's motion, so whether it is stunts, whether it is a certain type of movement, anything. It also is. There's also performance capture, which is where you wear a headpiece and you perform acting and emotes with your face. So that's more facial. Motion capture is just the body. And what you do is you basically wear standard motion capture. You wear a tight, like basically a tight Velcro suit. It's body formed, and they put these markers, these circular markers, all over certain parts of your joints, and that's what captures the movement with all these cameras in a place called the volume. And basically they just like they calibrate how you move and how you regularly stand, and different types of motions, which is called a ROM, range of motion. And
Mhm.
then you go into the volume and you basically listen to the director go through different movements, the game developers or whoever is in charge,
Mhm.
and go through what would be cool. And everybody's different. That's the thing. It's the Wild West in motion capture. You could be working with a very good professional director that knows cinematography, that knows storytelling,
Right.
or you could be working with a couple game developers who are like, that's kind of cool. Can you do that? And so I really feel like it's a world where you have to be creative. It's up to you to like give stuff as well.
Mm.
I've had situations where I've had to give stuff as well, where there was one game where I had to play mascots. It was a sports game, and I had to play different mascots. And there was a point I got to where each mascot I played, I had to give just something crazy and silly. Didn't have to. It didn't. And I was researching the different like mascots, like favorite like things they do in game to make fun of other teams or stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I remember the director going like, "Oh wow, like you learned that. When did you learn that?" And I was like, "Right now. I was on my phone, and I was like learning it right now." So it's like giving people that, and giving
Yeah.
directors that, and game developers that is a great thing. So I feel like, yeah, that's motion capture. That's my long story of the motion capture. But yeah, that is what it
No,
is.
that's great. No, that's I think we all kind of know a little bit about it, but not, from an insider's perspective. I would imagine there'd be a certain level of tedium, a little tediousness to some of the filming, right? Kind of like with a
Uh,
long
uh,
form
oh
voiceover.
my God, 100%. You have no idea. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I tell people there's a lot of people who are fans of video games and fans of, like they look at all the VFX in movies, or they'll go like, oh, cool, like Fortnite and Apex Legends, all these big games. I want to work on them. They look so cool. You get to be in Call of Duty. I'm like, you have no idea. Because really, to give a scenario of what you do, like I'll give an example of locomotions day. Locomotions day is the regular motions of an actor or a stunt performer that they have to do in game. So if it's like you're reacting to a grenade and falling into a pad, you have to do that similar movement 5 times. And so it's like getting up, placing your feet in the same area, set,
Yeah.
go, boom. And you have to do that 5 times. Maybe they'll go, okay, I want another motion. Give a different variation 5 times.
Wow.
And it has to be the same thing. Um,
Wow.
it's very particular. I tell people that motion capture is much more particular than film and
Mm.
even stunt work, like film stunt work, because people will go, "Oh, well, I could change my foot here for stunt work, and as long as it's there, motion capture, it has to stay the same." So, like
Oh, interesting.
one thing yeah, very much the same. Your body has to be very similar in motions. So if you're fighting somebody, or if you're dancing with somebody, your feet have to go in those similar places, and like and it'll pick up. Like you'll hear from the engineer, you'll hear from the developers, and go, I didn't like that.
Mm.
His foot was left,
Right.
and I want it right. I want it
Hmm.
here. And then it's like, oh, but I thought I had it there. Nope, we saw that.
Yeah.
And it's
Wow.
it's it's not like an angle in film where it's like, here, we have you framed up here. Oh, we don't see your feet. You're okay.
Yeah.
Motion capture is everywhere, and you don't know what they'll use, so they need all the data. So they could be like, I
Wow.
like his angle where his shoulder was. Let's use that, and
Yeah.
could not look good. So, yeah, it's a very detailed and tedious industry. You will be doing a lot of takes, and I highly recommend cardio and a good diet to anyone that wants to get in it. Yeah, because everyone that says they love video games and wants to get in it, I
Yeah.
warn them. I say, really get your cardio up and get everything. Just make sure you're healthy, and just be prepared to do the same thing and the same task over and over again.
Mhm.
And yeah, that if you do that and you're a good person on set and you're able to work with directors and give them more, go above board of what they want and be creative with them,
You'll get hired
that's a
again.
mocap performer right there. You're
Hmm.
you're you're in. That's my advice to it.
As far as voicing video games, you've done a few of those, just as a voice actor. Hmm.
I
Yeah. What
have.
have you done? What
Yeah,
have you done?
I've done Cobra Kai. We've been doing. I've been the video. I've been the voice of Brooks and Robbie in there, and it's been fun.
Hmm.
I got a weird call about it because I actually met the director at a voiceover event, and we kind of we got off really well. And then Randall Ryan,
Mm,
yeah, I'm directing this game.
I
Do you
know,
want to audition
Randall.
for it? Threw, threw it at me, like just going like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah, yeah.
I got this game here. Do you want to audition for it? I'm like, sure. And I have my good buddy Roy Halo. He's at Flow Studios. He goes, yeah, I can do this audition for you. I think we can nail this. And I just watched this first season several times, and I watched
Hmm.
those two characters specifically. And then I remember the next day after I had the audition, he just emailed me and was like, "Yeah, you got it." And then it just kept going. We did one game, and then there was a sequel, and then yeah, there's more to come. So yeah, I'm very excited for that. And then just yeah, there's been several other just like little like ND roles for games. Like usually it's been through motion capture where I'd be like, "Oh
Mm,
yeah, you did motion
hmm.
capture. You did voiceover too?"
Hmm.
And they would put a mic on me, and like there's a couple projects down the barrel right now. I can't say right now, but they just were like, "Oh yeah, you can do voiceover. This is kind of cool cuz even when
Yeah.
I'm doing motion capture, I would voice like what I'm doing or like
Oh,
move like the character of what I'm doing." And they were like, "That's crazy, you're using your voice." Like
yeah.
yeah, I'm like, "Yeah, I do voiceover as well." And then they would like stick me in a voiceover role as well. So it's always fun with video games where they put you in that. It's great.
So I know Randall as well.
Oh,
And yeah, yeah, yeah. So here's our little tie-in because I'm out on Long Island, New York, and Ralph Macchio lives out here. So
oh, perfect.
I know. So during COVID, right, when everything shut down, his wife did not want him going into the city to record for the game. So his agent found our studio, and he wound up coming to our studio, and I got to see him for 4 hours perform, and he's physical. I'm like, this is like a master class in, animation performance. So he came and he did that. And then when they had to do the other game, he came back again, and then he came back again to record something for Netflix. But from my perspective, because I never get to see animated, folks in animation work, it was mind blowing. And he's the nicest guy too. But it was like such a gift. And Randall was here. So it's just like
I tell you
we don't
what,
get to see that.
I want whatever fountain of youth he is drinking from
I know.
because Ralph Macchio, he looks great for his age. Like
Yes.
a friend of mine went to the premiere and I got to see pictures and she took pictures alongside him. I'm like, he looks so young and
Yeah.
like he's still like got it and he's spry even in the shows. I'm amazed like on his physical ability because like
Yeah.
he stays in it with the fight scenes and I'm like, wow, this guy's he's a true performer. Like I really
Totally.
I like how he brings everything to it. Even you seeing the voiceover, I'm like, oh, that must be great.
Yeah, it's something that I wish everyone could see that was interested in doing video games because they don't realize what it takes to fully, and he was so exhausted. The second time he came back, he like said to Randall, he was like, I don't want to see you again because he was so tired because it was hours, hours of repetition over and over again. And like I think the guy took one break and he came with his own food, his own water, came with everything. He's like a little self-contained performer and came in and came out. So, but here on the East Coast, we don't get to see a lot of video game stuff. That's not our
Really?
yeah, it's over here. New York is, more commercial, corporate, probably the stuff that'd be considered a little more boring. But so for when it comes to video games and animation, it's like well known. You got to head out to LA. You got to go to that coast. And even remotely, some things have picked up, but it's still, I feel like with your business, you need to be face to face with people. And there's so many
Yeah,
people that want to
it
do what you're
yeah.
doing, so
Yeah, it's interesting. It's because I know that when I was out in the East Coast, I had some buddies of mine and they were doing GTA out there, and
yeah,
this was last year, and I was like, okay, well, like how much do they do out here? And they were just saying, yeah, it's scarce. I mean, they said
yeah.
unless you go up to Canada and you're with like
Hmm.
Central Aid or something like that, and I'm like, yeah, and then they go, well, how is it down in LA? I'm like, it's good. It's just like it's not as much as Canada because Canada has a lot of motion capture and a lot of projects they do
Really?
up there, and yeah, they do a lot up there. And I hope that we get like like I hope more of it comes to the East Coast because I feel like seeing East Coast performers, voice actors. I've met several, and they're great. They're
Yeah.
killers. They do great work. They're fast paced. That's the one
Yeah.
thing I love about the East Coast is everyone's about like the work and
Yes.
fast and like down. And I love that. That is actually because when I went there, I actually stayed in New York for a month, and
Oh,
I was like amazed on how fast paced it was. People were telling me here in San Francisco, "Oh, you're gonna hate it. It's too fast paced for you. It's too much." I would loved it. I loved it over there. Like I
it's a
loved it.
rush.
Like everyone, they're gonna cuss at you. They're gonna be terrible at you. I'm like, no, they're not. They're
No,
great. Like
no.
everyone's like got a thing to
Yeah.
do, and everyone's on their mode right now. And I was happy to be there. When I lived there for a while, it was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Where
I
did
don't
you
know if I'd
live?
do
Where
it.
were you living? Where were you living
I was in the
exactly? Like
Bronx. I was in
in
the
the
Bronx.
Bronx.
So
Oh
not New
wow.
York,
So
New York.
you,
I was in the Bronx. I was staying
but
in
you
the
were
Bronx.
still a
And
city. You know, the Bronx is still in the
yeah,
city.
yeah, yeah. Still in
Yeah.
the city.
Mhm.
But I like no, I'm not trying to say like I was in Jersey. It's like, okay, so you're not in the city. All right, whatever. This guy. Whatever, buddy. No, I was in the Bronx, and God, that was when I was in musical theater mode, and I was wanting to do like stage shows there.
Cool.
I was with a dance company at the time when I was in college, and I was like really serious about it, and I wanted to go to New York and do stuff at that time. And yeah, I was there for a month. I was auditioning, and my biggest audition there I had, which was Newsies. I managed to get
Oh,
on that. I
cool.
had a through a friend and got to audition, and that was intense. That was an intense Broadway audition. But yeah, no, I loved it there. I love the
Yeah.
people. It was so fun.
The
And
energy of New York, it's definitely like you love it or you hate it. And it's just, you know, you either
yeah,
get here and you're like I've been here since 97, had always dreamed of being up here, and I still love it. I still love it because it's just the energy of everyone. It kind of feeds into your ambition and your work ethic because you're like, I can get it there. I got to get out there. And, or if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere, that whole thing, because you're like, I have all these opportunities. But yeah, I love it here. But a lot of people are like, oh, their folks are kind of harsh, and New Yorkers are straightforward, but they're kind. You know,
they
that's
are.
all we are. We're
They are.
straightforward.
I think it makes a very good performer if you're
Yeah.
if you're coming from a place like that and then you come into a world like LA. The con I would say is that you are more blunt, and I think people in LA get a little more like
Yeah.
hesitant towards that. They're like very
Yeah.
like, oh, like he or she like really like needed to do this work and they just didn't like approach me right. And it's like in New York, no one cares. Like I
Right.
I appreciate that. Like I really do. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's like LA, you gotta find the middle ground a little bit with people, and like you gotta the personality, and I think the chill personality has to come out of people. But yeah, I sense that
Hmm.
about Randall too. Randall's about that, and I like that about him. He's
Yeah.
very to the point, and I was like,
Yeah.
great. I don't just tell me what you need,
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
always fun.
Let's go.
But yeah, no, yeah. I think what's also cool is like with voiceover is like I always was like that. Like even right now, like I make jokes and voices all the time on set. Like I'll still do different things and have fun with people. And like I think what's great is that like voiceover is, if you can do it, it is a great form of just breaking the norm with people, and a good
Hmm.
icebreaker.
Ah.
I know
Hmm.
it's gotten me in rooms with people where I'd just be funny, and
Really.
they'd be like, what? Like, you do
Yeah.
that? And they're like, yeah. And I'm
Uh-huh.
like, and they're like, and then they go like, but you're like so relaxed. You don't come off as like an actor type or like an actor, and I'm like,
Uh-huh.
I guess not. I don't know. I just like having fun though, make impersonations, have fun, like, I think that's a good segue. And like, that's why I respect voiceover so much. Cause you do carry it along with you. You can carry it around with you anywhere. And I think that's what
Hmm.
helps with people in this, especially in this day and age. Like if you have that comedic timing, you're able to do
Right.
voices, and even on any set, people will love you for that. And yeah, that's why, yeah, voiceover will always stay like my number one, even though like I'm doing all these other things. I'm just like, yeah, no, I think I'm gonna have fun
Voiceovers.
with it. But yeah.
So with voiceover, obviously, outside of video game animation, is there another favorite genre for you? Do you like commercials? What do you like? Anything else?
Me, I'm really into narration. I'm getting into that more right now. I would love
Mm-hmm.
to. I'm trying to get into narrating for audiobooks right now. I think, yeah, for right now, I just love. I have to say, I still just love the fun of video games
Sure.
and PDR. Like
Mhm.
anything, it's that. Anything you give me with like, oh, you have to change your voice. Oh, you have to like learn this. And
Uh-huh.
I love that. I'm a huge character actor. I love being able to
Now, with video games,
something else.
you have to give several takes of the same
Oh, of course.
line.
Of
So,
course. Yeah. Like,
how
yeah.
do you handle screams? How do you handle like, sounds that are projecting? How do you
I say
keep your
that as I
voice in
cough
shape?
terribly. I say that as I cough terribly. You tea. I mean,
Yeah.
what is it? The voice straw? Do you know about that? The voice straw.
Yes,
You've ever
yes,
seen
yes,
that?
yes, yeah.
I love that thing. That thing
Yeah.
is amazing. That thing has saved me. What was it?
What does it do? Does it
I
open
did a
up the
little
back of
bit
your
of,
throat or something when you suck into it? Or you blow into
yeah,
it? Or okay,
yeah, you
gotcha.
blow into it and it opens up. Yeah, it's so good.
But,
But
but as far as
I,
projecting your voice, you know what I'm saying? Like, because if you have
yeah,
to scream, you got to get loud. Obviously, the producers are editing things on their end and keeping the
mm,
levels good. But how do you manage
yeah.
that? How do you manage
I do a 1 through 5
continually?
method. This was from Denzel Washington. I remember hearing him talk about this behind the scenes for training day, and I kind of tie this in with voiceover. I tie this in with anything. You level one is like I'm saying like hi, how are you, and then like level two, hi, how are you? Level three, hi, how are you? Level four, hi, how are you? And then level five, it's like the biggest one. Like so, I would go like, hey, what level do you want right now? And then like they'll go like I'll usually tell people like even in voiceover, like when I was doing Karate Kid with Randall, I was like, or Cobra Kai with Randall, I was like, hey, what level do you want this at? Because
Mm,
do you want to screen this out, or do you want this? He's like, give me a range, and I go, okay, I'll start with level one, and we go level one, but I don't do levels 4 through 5. I try not to do them twice because that's me just like screaming really
yeah.
loud,
Yeah.
and I think it was just like I really watched a lot of like I watched a lot of behind the scenes. A lot of behind the scenes I watched were stuff with Dragon Ball Z. Like when I was
Uh-huh.
watching their behind the scenes and like how they did
Mm-hmm.
their yelling scenes, I kind of relate to that with like how they would just like wait till the end. They would like do their dialogue and do all their stuff, like the important dialogue, and they'd be like, okay, is this the screaming portion? And they would take their time and they do their breathing exercises. Cause in that show, especially people like the voice actors like playing the Saiyans, like they had to scream all the time, like whether it's
Oh,
emotes, reactions, like trying to
I
like
can't
charge
imagine.
up a energy blast. It's like, oh my God, they would just be
Yeah.
screaming at full force. And I think it's just like conservation. You
Yeah.
gotta know when you're doing it, know when you're doing the voice, or know when you're doing the scream, and make a schedule of it because it's like
Hmm.
working out. You want to like
Yeah.
just go into a gym and be like, I'm gonna lift 300 pounds right now, and you're like, my shoulder's broken now. Great, all right, I can't do that anymore. It's like you don't want to go in there going like, give me the screaming lines first, and then next
Right.
thing you know, what they're like, okay, here's the important sad line. I love you. Like you're just gone
I know,
after
I
that,
know, I know, I know.
and you're like, great, we don't have the take. We have 3 more hours with you, so what do we do? So
Yeah.
yeah, it's tough but like I would say, yeah, conservation and just knowing when you have to scream.
I do
And
the same thing. I work for
it,
a comedy network, and sometimes they have me do some crazy stuff. Like I had to do a bit the other day about the astronauts coming back to Earth.
okay. Oh
And
boy, that'd be
yeah,
fun.
but it's comedy, so it's like really over the top. But I always say to them, I can't do any screaming until after 4 p.m. because I'll shred my vocal cords and then I won't be able to do anything else. At least I can go home after that. But yeah, same thing. It's like I have to plan it, and they know, okay, because I don't have any other projects afterwards, because you put so much into it and density into it, and you want the performance to be legit, that you're
Yeah.
gonna, you could cause a little bit of temporary damage if you're doing it right.
No, yeah, it affects everywhere. I mean, like actually I had to do it recently. I'm on this new show, this Western right now, and yeah, like because why I have the mustache, I don't usually wear a
Oh,
mustache, and
really?
they have the character wearing a mustache for it, and I'm Texan in it, but like there's a lot of screaming lines I have, and I'm like, and like I have to be like sounding like I smoked 100 cigars and sound just like really low like this half the time, and really just, and when I have to scream, it's like full force. It's like the back of my throat's just killing me. And I'm like,
Wow.
all right, cool. Like, can I do like 2 takes of this and that's it?
Yeah.
Like, and then when we get into night shoots, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm
Hmm.
gonna do it once, but like tomorrow, you're not gonna get like my voice right. I'm gonna sound scratchy the whole time
Now let me
because
ask
I'm
you,
the same way.
do you have like lead-in lines for characters? So sometimes if
Oh
I
yeah,
have to play. I play
Yes.
a drunk woman in the comedy thing, and I always know that I just have to start out like this. Don't know what I'm going to say. I'm going to start like that, and then go into the lines.
Yeah.
So, like for your Texan,
I
do you
do.
have?
I'm off camera when they get me on camera. Like I'll literally be like looking down, and I'm just like, and I'm just like, he did it. He did it. That's what he did. That's all he did. That's what he did. And I'm just like, I look like a crazy person on set because then like I'm like I literally would go for the take. Like we had a
Yeah.
courtroom scene, and I have to like give this whole monologue and talk to this whole scene with the lawyers and the lawyer and the prosecutor. And then I was just like I was just going through it, and I would just like between takes I'd be like whispering to myself and like looking down, and they were like, what the hell's he doing? What's going on here? And then like they'd be like, oh my God, he's trying to stay in the voice and
Ah,
just level it out. And then one
yeah.
of the guy who's playing the prosecutor in it, he just like came up to me and he goes like, so you were just trying to stay in the voice the whole time. It's why you were like talking like to
Mm.
yourself in between takes. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not crazy. Like it's
Yeah.
just it's a lead in for me.
Yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
you'd be like, oh my God, really? That's crazy. Like I'm like, yeah, man, I just want to stay in it because
Yeah.
I don't believe in that like where I'm not trying to say I'm going to go full Daniel Day-Lewis and be method, but
Right.
I like to stay in some element. I don't
Yeah.
want to be like constantly going up to people and just being like, I'm in character. Look at me. Like, I can't do that. Like, it pisses everyone else. I don't want to do that on set. It pisses everyone else off on
You
set.
wouldn't have many
Imagine
friends, Spencer.
you'd be a grip on set and you're like, oh my God, you got this guy. Spencer Greene's playing a crazed psychopath and he tried to stab me while I'm trying to set up lights. Okay, we get it. You're in character. Stop.
Yeah.
You're not the Hulk on set.
Yeah.
Like you're
Yeah.
just playing it. Calm down. Like, yeah, I don't
That's
believe in
funny.
that. I think like, but I think it's good when you're there to like just stay in it. And
Mm-hmm.
like, even it goes with everything. Goes with
Yeah.
stunts, like staying in the fights. Like you're tired, you're sweating on the day, and it's like, okay, we got to do this take, and it's like you're just like, okay, my objective is I gotta do this beat to him, and I gotta look this certain way, and I gotta like take him to the ground or something, or like motion capture. It's, you're playing. I like if I played a mascot or a creature, it's like, what's my objective as the creature? I would between takes, I'd be like staying as the creature and just like waiting, and then
Awesome. Yeah.
after we're done and relaxing, I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not trying to stay in the character the whole time.
So when it comes
But I
to
think
being,
leading internets. I'm sorry.
so, I'm sorry. So when it comes to the stunt work that you do, obviously that not damage, but accidents can happen. Have
Yes.
you had any type of injury that has been more difficult than another? Let's say that.
Yeah, I have one. I had one last year. It was my wrist. I did stunt doubled this actor on this new movie, and we had this big fight scene, and the stunt double who I was fighting, he's 6'4", and the first part, and the actor I was doubling, he wears tight slacks and a tight small short sleeve black shirt, so I had no little room to put pads on, and we were falling on concrete in this room.
Oh,
And so the first move he does to me, the director's like, I like the choreography. We had to go through a detailed little like brawler fight scene with each other, and
yeah.
he goes, the first move I want you to do is I want you to surprise him and disarm the gun from him. And the big guy's going to pick you up and he's going to lift you up head high and he's going to throw you to the ground on your back. And I'm like,
That sounds
cool. And it's kind of one of those where you're just like staring at them and just going like, yeah.
Sure.
And the director happened to be an old school stunt coordinator. So he was like one of those guys that was like in the old school days of the 80s and the 70s where they like were just like, I don't need a pad. I'll just take a swig of whiskey and go fall. And like, I'm just like, yeah, buddy, times have changed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did that and we did 2 takes of it. And on the second take, got flung up and my arm got caught right here. Like I didn't throw the gun in time. My arm got caught right here and I fell on my wrist as I
Oh,
fell from there. And I was like, oh, cushion the fall. But I fell on my wrist and I remember like I was fine. Like adrenaline was running through me the shoot. After the shoot was over, I'm just like, I was lifting the next morning and I was like, ooh, that hurts. And then like, it's just, yeah, I went through going through treatment with it and then it's healed now.
yeah.
I have one currently right now. I did a shoot recently. I stunt coordinated a shoot and I performed in it as well. And
Mm.
I was wearing this armor and me being just rushed. I didn't even think of this. I didn't put any, it happened right here. I didn't put any padding on my shoulder, and we did this thing called a wire gag where I'm in a wire vest, it's called a jerk vest,
Mhm.
and kind of seen it in Fall Guy. I don't know if you see him with Ryan Gosling, that thing
I
he
didn't
wears,
want
the
no.
vest. If you ever see it, that's what
Yeah.
it's called. It's called
Okay.
a jerk vest. And they attach a thing called, they just attach like a point to you, which is a wire on a metal, like a metal like hook. And basically what happens is the one of the performers or one of the riggers pulls me. And when they pull me, it's like it causes me to move a certain way. Anyways, I had to fall in a trench. Wasn't wearing padding right here. Long story short, I flew into the trench and landed right on my shoulder. And I was like, and I cracked the armor. And I'm like, yeah, that's not good. And then I'm just sitting there and I'm like, yeah, something doesn't feel right. And so I'm just nursing this right now where I'm like, oh, okay, all right, let's make sure it's healthy and everything. And it happens to people. I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen way worse. I've seen guys get their eyes cut open.
Oh.
I've seen people break their arms. Yeah, I've seen one guy, he got a concussion. He had to do this weird flip, and it was on concrete, and
Mhm.
it was for this fan film, and he just like it's bad when you mix late at night stunts, like when you're doing it really late at night, and it was
Mhm.
3 o'clock in the morning, and he had to do it, and he like he tried to, and he just boom, he didn't land right, and he just like was there on the ground laying there, and we're like, that's not part of the take.
Yeah.
Get him up right now, and then we were just like freaking out, but yeah, it comes. I always tell people, even people who are trying to get into stunts, it comes with the territory. Like just
Yeah.
the motion capture, tedious movements comes with the territory for stunts. You're going to have to, take some hard hits, and that's up to you to know how to fall safely and know how to react to it and
Mm.
know how to handle pain, because that is a business where you are handling physical movement and pain. Like you have to be able to mitigate that and know your threshold. And
What do you think
that's my advice to people.
what do you think the career span length is for someone who wants to do stunts? Like, what's the average, you think? I mean, I'm just
Performing, like
Yeah.
doing stunts, at performing in it. I
Yes.
would say some people have even said like, oh, 30, that's it. And I'm like, no. I think for me, I think it's 40. I think like you can stop at 40 because I heard this from a very, very good coordinator. He said like, yeah, and you're from 18 to 20, 18 to 30 or 18 to 20, you can hit and fall, whatever. You'll heal. You'll be fine.
Mhm.
In your 20s, you'll be okay, but nowhere to fall. In your 30s, know exactly where to fall. And then when you hit 40s to 50s, you either better have a pad or you better be really padded up so much that you won't break anything. And I was like,
Yeah.
ooh, okay, that's a good piece of advice to know. And I kind of told myself like, okay, at 40, I'm like, I'm not going to perform. And like, I think like, well, lately what I've been doing is I've been second unit directing, or also making like doing action camera for pre-visualizations. So I've just got off a couple actually. That's mainly been my work in stunts, is doing action
Okay.
cinematography. So basically what that means is making a scene look really good with the fight scenes. Like, so the camera is moving along with the fight performers
Oh, very
or the
cool.
stunts to make it look
Mhm.
visually captivating. So
Well,
yeah,
well,
it's that's the cool
we
industry. What
we
was it?
both know that the beauty of voiceover is you can do it until you die. So,
That is why I love it so much, because it's
yes.
like, I feel like there's a great voice actor. He just got done. He's Winter Soldier for Marvel Rivals. Elijah Mountjoy. He is amazing as a voice actor, and he actually told me that. He said, man, get out there, experience life, do everything you can. He said, dude, I was a bartender and I was doing all this stuff. I was doing a bunch of jobs. He says, go out there, experience life, and then come back to voice acting. And then I
Mm.
see him now where he's doing all these amazing roles, but I can hear it in his roles where he is like, he's got that experience.
Yeah.
He's not just, voice acting. He's not just being like, hey, I'm Winter Soldier, I'm dangerous. Like, he's actually playing that role, and you
Sure.
could hear it in his voice, the stress and all that. And I respect people like that who are like, go out and live life. Like, voiceover is forever for you. Just,
Yeah.
make those experiences happen. So yeah, that's why I'm in stunts and voiceover right now, just trying to play that world currently.
That's wonderful. I appreciate all I mean, this is a great arena that I have never heard anything about as far as the inside story goes. We just see the movies, the TV shows, and you guys make it look so easy. But this has been fascinating. And it's great that, obviously this is a voiceover podcast, and I love the fact that you do voiceovers. And I'm sorry I stole the whole thing with directed it all towards your stunt acting
No, it's
career.
great.
But this was great, Spencer. I really appreciate you coming on the Voiceover Gurus podcast today. So
no, this was really good. I really like it.
You have your website, spencergreenperforms.com. Okay, yeah, everybody needs to check out your website because the videos are really great to see.
There's more on my Instagram too. You can check me out, Spencer Greene Official. Yeah,
Official.
So I mainly post on Instagram now. Like I'm always on Instagram and posting my new stuff and everything like that. So yeah, you'll be able to see new content on there.
Okay, good. So I'll have to follow you too, and you'll see me following you.
Absolutely.
Thank
I have
you,
to see
Spencer,
you playing the drunk lady in that skit. I got to see your comedy skits, man.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't have video on it. I mean, all my stuff is voiceover.
Oh no! I want to hear it.
You want to hear it? Oh, okay.
I do.
All right.
No, because right now, actually, funny. I've been asked because I know some stand-up comedians. I've been asked to do some audio comedy skits and to parody a certain president we have, and that'll be some stuff coming up in the future. Because I've that's been one of my running jokes on sets is doing a parody of him and all that, and just saying the wildest stuff and the funniest stuff. But I always love parody. It's always fun.
I did a parody of Hillary Clinton for like 2 years for the.
Oh my God,
Network.
I gotta hear it. I'm sorry, I gotta hear it. Please.
The thing is, it's a character, like a caricature of her because it wasn't supposed to be the exact her. And for some reason, I found like the laugh. Do you remember Fire Marshal Bill?
Oh my
Jim
God,
Carrey?
yes.
Right?
In Living Color?
Yes.
Classic show.
And he'd go, so I made that her laugh, basically.
No, that's perfect. I honestly, I still love that people are going off of that meme of her where they show her like looking around and when they go like, when you see everything extravagant with your friends and she's like that. Have you seen that meme? Oh my God, I love that. And people will make impressions of her off of that. They'll just be like, oh, like that the whole time. And I'm like, oh my God, I love this. Like, yeah, you chose a good one. Hillary Clinton's great. Like that would be
the thing is with the Comedy Network that I still work with them, but I couldn't choose. They would just say, today we need this, like you're Canadian and you're in a canoe and you're having sex, go. And I'd be like, it's like the ultimate improv. Yeah. Yeah. So
that's awesome. I would no, that's really cool. Cause that's like that I think is an art that is dying right now. I feel like, cause a lot of people are doing social media skits and I feel like improv is a huge thing where people are not just going out and seeing this stuff live. And I feel like voiceover is a great outlet for that, especially if you can like skits. I don't remember the name of the show, but it was that show. It was like 4 guys on stage. What was it? One of them. It was like they'd give them a subject and they'd say something.
I'm sure you know it. Whose line is it anyway? Whose line is it anyway?
Whose line is it anyway? Yes, that's it right there. Whose line is it anyway? Yes. Like, that show to me, I used to watch reruns of that like crazy. It was amazing. Like the amount of things that they would just give things to these guys and they would just go off on them and they would just have these great jokes and they had such little time to think about it.
Yep.
I think we're missing it nowadays. I'd love to see that more in voiceover.
I know. And you know what? If you're a good voiceover actor, you're able to improv because, you never know what a client's going to ask for. And sometimes you do something, they go, we don't like what you just did. Do something else. And they don't tell you anything else. Yeah. They're like, all right, let me try this, so.
Yes. No, that is. I think that'd be my other piece of advice to people is like, do improv. Make up stuff. Have fun.
Agreed.
And don't let anyone hold you back. Just figure it out and keep it going. Like, I think stand-up comics are some of the best actors because some of them, the good ones at least, like where they can just think of jokes out of nothing.
I know.
I'm impressed with those people. I'm very impressed.
It's such
like
a talent.
That is intelligence because they're just like they're aware of everything around them and they can just be like, tie these two together, go. It's like rap lyrics. It's very quick and you're like, wait, how did you tie that together and figure that out? And it's phenomenal. Like especially when they don't have just like one-liners, they can go into a monologue of a joke.
Yes,
even with
that
voiceover,
is the best.
Like, yeah, that's
great
fun.
advice.
But yeah, this has been good. Yeah, happy to be on this podcast. Like I'm really honored because I was like, oh wow, yeah, I'd love to be a part of this. This sounds awesome, especially with voiceover. Great. Like, yeah, I was seeing all the rest of the episodes and I'm like, I recognize some people and I'm just like, oh my God, yeah, I'm grateful to be here with the greats.
Yeah, thank you for sharing your knowledge, because a lot of people that listen to the podcast are either thinking about getting into the business or they're just starting out. And I love to share whatever experiences you have, which is, it's just it's pieces of gold for a lot of people to listen to and learn from. So much appreciated.
I would just say be adaptive as you can. And you never know where your performance career, your acting career is going to take you. Your voice acting career, you never know where it's going to take you. So just be adaptive. And I'd say voiceover is the strongest element to have, because your voice is very important.
Awesome, Spencer. Thank you so much again.
Yeah.
That's it for the Voiceover Gurus podcast for today. Just head over to the website, voiceover.guru, if you're looking for coaching, or even last night we had a little improv happy hour workout, which was a lot of fun. But lots to do and see. And again, thank you so much for listening. We'll see you all really soon.
Thanks for listening to the Voiceover Gurus podcast. Real talk about the voiceover industry. Learn more about us and get coaching at voiceover.guru.